We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Bobby. Bobby is struggling with the final decision about what to do with his projection setup. 2 weeks ago, Rob and Lee suggested sticking with the Epson 5040 UB, mounting it as far back as physically possible. So it's just under 10 feet from lens to screen due to the 12-foot length of the room, whatever. Anyways, he's using a 100-inch diagonal, 87-inch wide screen and simply sitting 9 feet away from the screen instead of 11 feet to get the larger field of view that he prefer. All right, so he can move his seats. Look at that.
Well, that's what his question is, because that was our suggestion.
Oh,
you don't have to sit 11 feet. Just move 2 feet closer. You get the field of view that you want with the screen that fits. So that was our suggestion.
Right. So while Bobby appreciates the advice, he occasionally needs to use his theater room as a guest room with an inflatable mattress. So he's thinking he needs to maintain enough floor space, and the closer seating distance might not be possible. So should just forget about the 2.35:1 content being wider than the he's one of these guys. 16:9 content and go with the 92 to 100-inch screen, 16:9 screen. Call it a day, or should he consider a different projector with a shorter throw distance so he can create a larger image? Okay. Dude, I'm going to be, this is real talk here from Tom. Real talk from Tom. Did you hear what you just said? Because I hear this all the time, and it's not just about home theater. It's about everything in life. I hear it constantly. Like, I'll be talking to people, and they're like, oh, we're looking for a house. Oh, that's great. What are you looking for? Well, we can't get anything with stairs. Like, why? You got a phobia of stairs? No, we have a young child. Does your young child got a phobia about stairs? Like, no. No, we're just afraid you won't have any stairs because you might fall down them. You think he's going to be the kind of kid that falls down the stairs for the rest of his life? You think he might figure it out after the first time he falls down the stairs? I mean, don't make a purchase or don't make a decision based on something that could happen every once in a while or may happen, okay? I might have to use... My home theater is exactly the same as yours. Every once in a while, I need to use it as a bedroom. And you know what I do? I move the couch.
Yeah, I mean, that was my question. I'm like, are you bolting your chairs to the floor? Like,
I mean, is it happening every day?
Yeah.
Is it happening every day? If it's happening every day, it is a bedroom, in which case this is a real concern. If it happens twice a year, you're telling me it's too much trouble to move a couch twice a year?
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
Didn't totally make why must you maintain space for a mattress at all times?
Right,
like that didn't add up to me.
I mean, if this is important to you, is it important enough that you will consider taking the time out of your day twice a year, maybe 3 times, to move a couch, and then a couple of days / weeks later, moving it back again?
Yeah,
I mean, it's literally that's what it is.
My advice to you, Bobby, either way is get a 100-inch screen. Because, I mean, a 100-inch screen, totally, normal size. Everybody sells a 100-inch screen.
Right.
Just get a 100-inch screen. You put it up. Sit where you want to sit. I mean, you might be forced to sit a little bit farther away, not quite have the field of view that you want, but that's the biggest screen that you could put in here with the projector's throw distance. If you step down to a projector that's less expensive than the 5040 UB and has a shorter throw, you're giving up all the HDR support, you're giving up the great black levels of that model, you're giving up the motorized lens thing that lets you have the 2 different size screens so that 2.35:1 can be wider than 16:9. Like, you're giving up all the features that you wanted, all for the sake of 2 feet of seating distance. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Dude,
to me.
how important is this air mattress? I tell you what, it's cheaper to do, and to doing with everything else you want to do. I mean, so if you factor in the cost of how much you're not going to like whatever you got because you know what you wanted and you didn't get it, if you factor in that cost as well, you could just buy yourself a smaller air mattress, like custom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, get
a twin instead of a queen.
Yeah, something like that. So I would encourage you to rethink this whole, I must have a bunch of dead space on my floor for an invisible mattress that only lives there once or twice a year. I would rethink that. Next, he asks, is there such a thing as sitting too close to a screen? Could someone sit 5 feet from a projection screen and have that look okay? 5 feet from how big is the screen?
How big is the screen? Yeah, yeah. I mean, there is such a thing as sitting so close that you start seeing individual pixels.
But it depends on the size of the screen. I mean, if you got like it's with your, I mean, a lot of your phones these days are all basically 1080p or very close to it, right? And you take your screen, and you're definitely within 5 feet. And if you aren't within 5 feet, you can't see it at all. So you're like, I can't see what's on that phone. Could you bring it over here a little bit closer? So, I mean, if you're talking about a 100-inch screen, yeah, 5 feet's too close. I mean, I'm at 5 feet. I mean, if you're talking 120 inches, maybe 140, 5 feet is way too close. You're going to start seeing pixels. You're going to see all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah, I mean, based on the human anatomy where it's possible. So let's say you had a white dot, a black dot, and a white dot all next to each other. If each of those dots fills up 1 arc minute of your vision, which is 1/60th of a degree of your vision, then you should be able to make that out as a white dot next to a black dot next to a white dot. That's sort of where our visual acuity limits itself. So if you took that and you said, okay, I'm going to have a white pixel next to a black pixel next to a white pixel, you, at 5 feet away, you could have a 40-inch diagonal screen if it's 1080p, or you could have an 86-inch diagonal screen if it's 4K, if it's 2160p. So 86-inch screen in 4K from 5 feet away before you'll be able to see white dot, black dot, white dot. Now that still is not the screen door effect. The screen door effect is where you see the grid of structure in between the pixels. Well, think about that. If you're going to see the grid, then the grid has to start filling something close to 1 arc minute of your vision, which means you're even closer than that to start seeing the screen door effect. So is it possible to sit too close? Yes, it is possible. Well, unless you don't care about screen door effect. But you got to get darn close to a big screen when you're talking 4K resolutions. So,
and honestly, you know, there are people out there who have vision problems who get a lot closer than 5 feet because they just literally cannot see it. I've told the story before, but I had a guy come over and he had never been able to play Rock Band or anything like it before,
right?
Because he couldn't see the screen, because every screen he was been involved with was, you know, normal size, 42 inches, something like that, right? A big one might have been 50 inches, and I had, I think, 82 at the time or something like that. And he was up, he was off to the side of the screen, but inches away from the screen so that he could see it.
Right.
Was he too close? Not for him, he wasn't. For you, probably, but not for him. So about a month ago, Bobby asked us for in-wall speaker suggestions, and we pointed him towards Outdoor Speaker Depot. In the meantime, his wife bought him a pair of Klipsch R14 bookshelf speakers and an RC25 center for his birthday. That was nice of her.
Yeah, very nice.
Is that what you wanted? I mean, did she just randomly pick some speakers? Or did you say, hey, if you're going to get some speakers, these are the one? I'm just curious. Anyways, so now he is trying to decide what to do. He could still get the Outdoor Speaker Depot in-wall and in-ceiling speakers for his surround and in-ceiling speakers. Would that sound okay with his front 3 Klipsch speakers? Buy the slightly larger, this is B, or 2, buy the slightly larger R15 bookshelf speakers, move the R14s to the surround positions, maybe go for the Klipsch quintet speakers as his overheads. 3, just add Klipsch quintet speakers for all the remaining positions. 4, get the Klipsch R14 surround speakers that are a half moon shape and meant to be wall mounted. And 5, something else he hasn't thought of. What should he do? All right, you probably shouldn't go with the outdoor speaker stuff.
Well, I mean, efficiency-wise, they're actually not a problem, because this series of Klipsch, these are the smaller ones. These are like the 4.5-inch driver.
Yeah.
And they're in the 90 to 92 dB efficiency range, which actually
isn't that bad.
Yeah, the series that we like from Outdoor Speaker Depot is similar. It's like 92 dB efficient. So you don't have this huge efficiency mismatch. Like some of Klipsch's speakers are like 98 dB efficient, and then you try to match them with a normal speaker that's like 86 dB efficient, and you have yourself a problem because the trim levels in your receiver might not even be able to compensate for that, or they're sort of maxed out. Right. You know, and that's not something that you normally want to do. But here, the efficiencies aren't that different. So it could work. Now, how well they're going to timbre match, that's something.
See, that's where I'm like, you know what? Once you go with Klipsch, you gotta kind of stick with Klipsch. The overhead speakers, I'm not as concerned about.
Yeah.
But the surrounds,
I guess. I mean, this is a situation where I wouldn't be strongly against going for the in walls and in ceilings that you wanted originally, because all the other options he's talking about are on wall or on.
He doesn't
ceiling.
want that.
Well, that wasn't his original idea. I mean, this is a small room. It's only 12 by 12.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and again, which begs the question: why are we with Klipsch speakers that
yeah, but these are the small ones that aren't.
I understand.
That's not a bad choice for this room size at all.
I'm gonna say go with 4. Get the Klipsch R14 surround speakers that are half moon shaped and meant to be wall mounted, and then get the outdoor speaker ones for your overheads. That's
For
what
your
I'm gonna say.
overheads?
That's what I'm gonna say.
I could back getting Klipsch speakers that can go on your wall that match your current ones for the surround positions.
Right.
And
You
then
get
go in
end
the
walls.
yeah. By the way, it's the MK series from Outdoor Speaker Depot that I like. Yeah, I could back that play. I'd be down with that. Yeah, that makes sense. I would maybe try to steer you clear of going with the Klipsch quintets. Those are basically computer speakers. Let's be honest. I mean, they're compact home theater speakers, but they're not the same design. They don't even really have a horn. I'd try to you'd end up with quite a high crossover too, like 150 hertz crossover on those. I'd try to steer you away from that. Yeah, I can back Tom's suggestion there. That makes a lot of sense. So it's a mix. The on-wall surrounds from Klipsch, get a nice match for your surrounds, and then go for your in-ceiling speakers from Outdoor Speaker Depot, because that's not going to matter so much.
So lastly, he asks, should his surround speakers be directly to his sides, or should they be a little bit behind him?
He's doing 5.2.4.
Right. I mean, I would put them a little bit behind me.
Yeah, a little bit behind.
They don't have to be that far, like, 6 inches, 12 inches.
Yeah, 6 inches a foot.
Yeah.
There you go. If you're going to be moving your seat a little bit forward, even easier.
Even easier. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.